Hiya. Decided to do one on top of my head today. So I've got a crown of plants. These are the Pilars. The mamas at Montero's. And Pepe's mom, Pilar and Joe Montero, were the ones that opened it up back in 1938. Hi, and welcome to today's edition of Caddy's Corner. It's Friday, and I'm heading off to a karaoke shift. Rock and roll, let's sing some tunes. Just been thinking a lot today. I've been thinking a lot about a lot of things. So today I wanted to talk about, the phrase, I'm going to use specific pronouns here, but it can, of course, go for anyone. It's her truth and his truth, and the real truth lies somewhere in the middle. And that's the truth. But the funny thing is, that also happens just within your own truth. What you thought was the truth in a moment of time when something went on, whether good or bad, whatever. Usually in conflict moments, there's a miscommunication, there's a misunderstanding. Something has happened outside of your vision, outside of your ability to see or understand. Sometimes it is the motivations of people that you love and trust who are actually up to dark things or have flaws in their personalities that are motivating them to be bad actors, we'll call it. You also don't really know, like, you might remember where you were, what was happening, what the circumstances were of your life right then, where you lived, maybe even what you were wearing on particular days. But our brains let go of a lot of stuff, so you won't remember what you ate for lunch on every single day. Maybe somebody does out there, but in general, we don't remember all of the context. I recently pieced together that during my time of serving on the jury, this past month, I was brought back to when I had served on a jury when I was 23, and I hadn't realized that all happened. If it wasn't the exact same summer, it was the summer before, so within a year. But for sure, in a very close, now hindsight 2020, 50 years into this life, the time that I served on that jury, and we ended up in a criminal case convicting a woman who shouldn't have been convicted, I feel. And I was bullied in that jury room, and I swore that would never happen again. I also went to Las Vegas for 3 weeks and certified with the Society of American Fight Directors as an actor combatant in rapier and dagger, broadsword, and unarmed combat. We also learned quarterstaff. We just weren't tested in it. Me and my friend Martin Noyes, actually won the best couple, which I thought I wasn't even good enough to pass the class, let alone win something. Like, that was a big, like, what? I'm good at something? And my parents moved to Atlanta, Georgia from Colonial Heights, and I moved up to New York. I did at the end of the summer, so I moved into Richmond to live with my friend Kate Dunnett. Rest in peace, Lady Kate. We did the show The Last Viking, and that was a chaotic time. It was a chaotic time. All of that stuff going on. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I might even have the timelines off for that. No, that's right. That's right, because it was the last summer I went to Society of American Fight Directors. The SAFD. Anyway, I thought a lot about Susan in that case and convicting her, and I never realized it was exactly the same time that I dumped Colonial Heights and got the heck out. Also, I've been working on a lot of stuff that's really hard things, a lot of little pieces of trauma, like trying to heal some of the death by a thousand cuts and figure out some patterns that are still going on that don't belong in my life anymore. They don't bring me joy. They don't bring me happiness. In fact, they bring me a lot of anxiety. Had a moment earlier today where I actually had to stop and say the colors of things out loud. That is a technique. I forget the acronym, but you just look at things to bring your anxiety down while you're breathing and go green, pink. It turns out I have a lot of pink and blue things in my room and only one red thing. That was surprising to me. So it's a fast babble about nothing and everything, because truth matters. Language matters. Accepting the fact that your own truth isn't even true, that's hard. Something is true if you believe it to be true. And that is why there's a lot of conflict, especially right now, with what we call the two sides of our political realm. But we are all one. We are all one human race. Let's start there. And then we are also one country and one nation, which from its inception of being called a country was a giant stew of people from different places, which turns out now that we have 23andMe is a giant stew of people from different places all the time anyway, always, right? But if you believe the truth to be that they are them and you are you. So therefore, you are only in charge of protecting, loving, caring for, giving a crap about a certain segment of society, then you're going to live that way. If you believe from your own experiences in life or some manner in which you were raised, a particular religion, for instance, or a particular, I mean, I call myself a Southern Yankee. I grew up in Virginia 23 years of my life, and then I moved to New York. And people are people. It doesn't matter if they speak the same language as I do. It's a beautiful thing. But I do know that there's been some truth, things that I thought were true about either how the world ran or who I was or what was expected of me that I took on. Yeah, it might have been a lesson that my peer group around me or the society and the age that I was raised, a little leave it to beaver, get married, have a couple kids, get a car, go on vacation once a year, get a dog, maybe a cat. And that's who I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be a housewife, maybe with a little side job or something. But it never really suited me. And I'm figuring out now why. So I'm having to let go of some of those old truths. And some of these truths are given to us at an age that we can't recognize or realize that they're not up for question. These are called core beliefs. So I guess today my hope is that you're still questioning. You're still seeking out joy and doing things with playfulness and looking for the truth. And don't be mad at other people for thinking that their truth is the only truth. In fact, have compassion for them and be sad that they can't see multiple truths. When people come, I'm a bartender, so sometimes politics, religion, and other things come up, and sometimes I just go, yeah, we're not talking about that here at the bar. And I often joke and say, you can only talk about politics at the bar if I agree with you. The truth is I have a pretty wide berth of agreement. I don't necessarily pick a team. I've decided that I'm all the colors. Because there's parts of each thing that I love and I respect and I think should be done more. I think things that work should be done more. We've got enough ability with computers now to check the data. What are the success rates of this thing and that thing? I mean, the DMV in New York was one of the first ones that started with you go to a table, a booth in the front that's like a guy, the information person. What are you doing today? And you want to tell them everything. I need a registration and a new license. I'm coming from another state and I just bought a car. And my mother died and I'm taking over that one. And they'll say, okay, take this number and go to this one first and then go over there and then do that. And there's a person who actually knows the inner workings of the place. And you get color coded and set off to, and it's even faster now. You can make appointments and it's online and there's a lot of stuff you can do on your phone. But the point is, New York City figured out we got to get more efficient with this, because it used to be if you were going to DMV here, it was like an ER. You're like 4 hours plus, maybe 7, and you might not get done what you need to get done that day. Sorry, we're closing. Done. So things that work, even in giant systems, can be tweaked. Let's look at the information from a different way and not judge whose idea it is. Who cares whose idea it is? If it works, it works. Find the truth. So the word for the day is truth. I hope you are seeking some more truth for yourself, because even if you think you got it all figured out, you don't. And even if you do have it all figured out for today, tomorrow is going to be a different day and things are going to happen. So let's all keep working as a team to find some truth. I guess that's the question too then. What's your truth? My truth is that I love being in service of people, and I love helping people, and I love creating art, and I love animals. Mr. Phil's taking a bath right now. And I love my friends and my family, and I love love. It sounds cheesy, but there's a phrase I read once and I thought, that guy is full of crap. I don't even know where it originally came from, but it keeps cycling back up right now. And it's something quite simple. To be happy, period. Be happy, period. Like, what? If it was that easy, everybody would do it. The truth of the matter is, though, in some degrees, it is that easy. So I'm finding more and more as strife and conflict comes toward me. I yield like water, let it go past, stand firm when I need to. I'm getting better. I'm getting better at it. So practice, right? I just did my Tai Chi, got my game face on for a karaoke night, and let's go. Let's go. It's December. It's a full moon. It's the end of a decade. 2020 is almost among us, whatever. I'm living in Brooklyn, New York, and it's where I wanted to be since I used to watch Norman Lear shows back in the floor of Colonial Heights. My hand on my chin, just watching, like, Good Times and All in the Family and One Day at a Time. I thought that one was amazing. I know they've rebooted it. I haven't watched that. But anyway, love you, Norman Lear. Got to meet him one time at the way station. He was so awesome. Anyway, more awesome in person than his shows are, if you can accept that. So I'll leave it on that note. Lots of love to you. And we'll do it again tomorrow. Thanks for joining me in Caddyland. Bye.